The communication terminal in the Dragon Slayers Guild headquarters crackled to life at 0300 hours, pulling Commander Jake Morrison from his third cup of coffee. The holographic display flickered, showing not one but 7 alien species representatives, all looking desperate. That alone was unusual. Getting 7 different species to agree on anything was like herding cats through a meteor storm. Commander Morrison, the Valkyrie ambassador, began, her crystalline form shimmering with anxiety. We require your services immediately. A void serpent has nested in the Kepler 442 system. Jake set down his coffee slowly. Void serpents. The galaxy's apex predators. Creatures that fed on starship fuel, nested in asteroid fields, and could grow up to 3 kilometers long. Most species considered them mythological nightmares. Humans called them Tuesday. How big are we talking? Jake asked, leaning back in his chair. The faction representative, a being that looked like a floating jellyfish made of circuits, pulsed nervously. Preliminary scans suggest 15 kilometers. It has already consumed 3 mining stations and 2 cargo vessels. Jake whistled. 15? That's a big girl. What's the timeline? The creature is moving toward the confluence station. The Valkyrie continued. 60,000 civilians from 12 different species live there. We have 72 hours before it reaches the station. Maybe less. And you want us to kill it or relocate it? Kill it, all 7 representatives said in unison. That was another first. Jake pulled up the mission parameters on his secondary screen. The Kepler 442 system was a major trade hub, positioned at the intersection of 5 different territorial spaces. Confluence Station was neutral ground, a massive orbital city where species came to trade, negotiate, and occasionally not kill each other. Losing it would destabilize the entire sector. What's the compensation package? Jake asked, because humans didn't hunt space dragons for free. The guild had expenses, families to support, and a reputation for being expensive but worth every credit. The representatives looked at each other. The Zepoid ambassador, a creature resembling a bipedal praying mantis, spoke. We are prepared to offer the location of a Forerunner cache. Jake's casual demeanor vanished. Forerunner technology was the holy grail of galactic archaeology. The Forerunners had vanished 2 million years ago, leaving behind artifacts that made current technology look like stone tools. Nations went to war over single Forerunner batteries. Cache locations were worth more than entire planets. You're serious? Completely, the Valkyrie said. The cache is in the Deneb system. Coordinates will be provided upon successful completion. Our combined intelligence agencies discovered it 3 months ago. We've kept it secret because none of us trust each other enough to explore it together. But we all agree that losing Confluence Station is unacceptable. Jake stood up. I'll need to assemble my team. We can be in the Kepler 442 system in 36 hours. That leaves only 36 hours to kill a 15-kilometer void serpent, the Thaxian noted. Yeah, Jake grinned. Should be plenty of time. The communication ended, and Jake immediately activated the guild-wide alert. Within 20 minutes, his core team assembled in the briefing room. Sarah Chun, their xenobiologist, and the woman who had written the book on void serpent anatomy. Marcus Webb, demolitions expert, and the craziest human Jake had ever met, which was saying something. Lieutenant Commander Anna Rodriguez, their pilot, who could fly a refrigerator through a supernova if needed. And Dr. Yuki Tanaka, their tech specialist who had once hacked a void serpent's neural patterns to make it dance. 15-kilometer void serpent, Jake announced without preamble. Kepler 442 system. 72 hours until it eats 60,000 civilians. Questions? What's the pay? Marcus asked immediately. Forerunner cache location. The room went silent. Then Marcus grinned. Well, that's worth not sleeping for 3 days. Sarah pulled up holographic displays of void serpent anatomy. 15 kilometers means it's at least 800 years old. Its hide will be nearly impenetrable, reinforced by centuries of absorbed metals and cosmic radiation. Conventional weapons won't scratch it. Good thing we don't use conventional weapons, Aina said, already plotting navigation routes. The guild maintained a fleet of specialized ships, but for void serpent hunting, they used the Beowulf, a heavily modified destroyer that humans had rebuilt from the ground up. While other species designed ships for exploration or combat, humans designed ships for killing things that shouldn't exist. 34 hours later, they dropped out of faster-than-light travel at the edge of the Kepler 442 system. The Void Serpent was exactly where the aliens said it would be, a massive serpentine form moving through space like it was swimming through water. Its scales reflected starlight in hypnotic patterns, each scale the size of a house. The creature was beautiful in the way that natural disasters were beautiful. "That's a big snake," Aina observed from the pilot's seat. "Technically, it's not a snake," Sarah corrected. "It's a silicon-based organism that evolved in the vacuum of space. It has 17 hearts, distributed nervous system, and can survive temperatures ranging from near absolute zero to the surface of a star." "Can we kill it?" Jake asked. "Absolutely. We just need to get creative." Void serpents were nearly impossible to kill from the outside, but they had one weakness. They fed by swallowing ships and mining stations whole, then dissolving them in their massive stomachs over weeks or months. The digestive system was the only part of their anatomy that wasn't armored like a battleship. "We're gonna do the Jonah maneuver," Jake announced. Marcus laughed. "I love the Jonah maneuver." The Jonah maneuver was simple in concept, suicidal in execution. They would trick the Void Serpent into swallowing their ship, then detonate enough explosives inside its stomach to blow it apart from the inside. The trick was surviving long enough to plant the explosives and get out. Aina flew the Beowulf in a pattern designed to look like a damaged cargo ship, venting atmosphere and flying erratically. Void serpents were ambush predators despite their size. They preferred easy prey. The creature noticed them within minutes. Its massive head, more dragon than serpent, turned in their direction. Eyes the size of houses focused on the Beowulf. Then it moved impossibly fast for something so large, jaws opening to reveal rows of teeth designed to grip rather than chew. "Here it comes," Aina said calmly, making no effort to dodge. The world became teeth and darkness as the Void Serpent swallowed them whole. The Beowulf's hull groaned under the pressure as they slid down its throat, past biological seals that would eventually trap them for digestion. "Stomach in 30 seconds, Sarah called out, monitoring their descent through the creature's body. "Activating hull reinforcement," Aina added. "We've got maybe 40 minutes before the digestive acids eat through our shields." They tumbled into the creature's stomach, a cathedral-sized cavity filled with half-dissolved ships and asteroids. The air, if you could call it that, was a toxic mixture of acids and dissolved metals. Their environmental suits would protect them, but not for long. Marcus and his demolition team deployed immediately, magnetic boots clamping onto the stomach lining. They carried enough shaped charges to crack a moon. Planting them in the right pattern was more art than science. "Sarah, I need target points," Marcus called over the com. "Marking now." Holographic indicators appeared on everyone's helmet displays, showing the locations of the Void Serpent's 17 hearts and major neural clusters. "We need to destroy at least 12 hearts simultaneously and sever the connection between its brain segments." "That's a lot of explosives in 40 minutes, Marcus noted. But he was already moving, his team spreading out across the massive cavity. Jake and Sarah worked on the neural cluster access points, cutting through layers of tissue with plasma torches. The Void Serpent's immune system started responding, sending antibody creatures the size of dogs to attack them. The creatures were basically living white blood cells, designed to kill parasites. "We've got company," Jake announced, pulling out his weapon. The rifle was human-made, designed to work in any environment, including the stomach of a space monster. He fired, the rounds explosive-tipped and designed to tear through biological tissue. Sarah worked beside him, her movements efficient as she placed neural disruptors. These will ensure it can't coordinate a response when the charges blow. Its body segments will essentially panic independently. 20 minutes in, Marcus reported, 2/3 of charges placed. We're going to be cutting this close. The stomach acids were getting stronger. Jake's suit alarmed him that his shields were down to 60%. Around them, the half-dissolved wrecks of other ships served as grim reminders of what happened if they failed. 15 minutes. Aina's voice came through, tense but controlled. Shields at 40%. We need to finish this. Marcus and his team moved like dancers, placing charges with practiced precision, even as antibody creatures swarmed them. Jake and Sarah finished the neural disruptors and moved to help. Last charge placed, Marcus finally announced. Everyone back to the ship. They ran, magnetic boots propelling them across the undulating stomach lining. The Void Serpent was starting to realize something was wrong. Its stomach contracted, trying to crush them. Ships and debris tumbled around them like a deadly whirlpool. They piled into the Beowulf with 2 minutes to spare. Aina had the engines hot and ready. Marcus, give me good news, Jake said, strapping in. Charges are synchronized. When they blow, we'll have exactly 8 seconds to exit through the esophagus before the entire body cavity collapses. 8 seconds? I rounded up to be optimistic. Aina, can you fly us out in 8 seconds? Can a human breathe oxygen? Aina replied, hands already on the controls. Jake activated the CUM to the Guild's external ship, which had been monitoring from a safe distance. This is Morrison. In case we don't make it, tell the Council the cache coordinates better be real. Detonating in 3, 2, 1. Marcus counted down. The world became fire and force. 17 shaped charges detonated simultaneously, tearing through hearts and neural tissue. The neural disruptors fired, scrambling the creature's ability to coordinate. The Void Serpent's body convulsed violently. Aina launched the Beowulf straight up through the esophagus, engines screaming at maximum power. The biological seals that had closed behind them were opening in the creature's death spasms. They rocketed through the throat, past the massive teeth, and out into open space. Behind them, the Void Serpent writhed in its death throes. Its body contorted, then began to break apart as internal explosions continued to cascade through its system. 15 kilometers of apex predator became 15 kilometers of biological debris. Status report, Jake ordered, catching his breath. Hull integrity at 70%, Aina reported. Engines good. We're alive. I'll never doubt human engineering again, Sarah said, leaning back in her seat. Marcus was grinning ear to ear. That was beautiful. Can we do it again? The Confluence Station sent immediate confirmation. The Void Serpent was dead. 60,000 civilians were safe. And true to their word, the 7 species provided the coordinates to the Forerunner cache in the Deneb system. 2 weeks later, the Dragon Slayers Guild entered the cache. What they found changed everything. The cache wasn't just technology. It was a database. The complete history of the Forerunners, their science, their culture, and most importantly, why they had vanished. The Forerunners hadn't died out or ascended to higher dimensions like the theory suggested. They had simply moved on, journeying to another galaxy to explore new frontiers. They left behind one message for whatever species found their caches. To whoever finds this, you have proven yourself worthy through courage and capability. The universe is vast and full of wonders and terrors. Never stop exploring, never stop growing, and never be afraid to face the impossible. Jake read the message aloud to his team. Then he looked at them and smiled. Sounds like they would have liked humans. Sounds like they were basically space humans, Marcus agreed. The guild returned to headquarters, wealthier in knowledge than any payment could have made them. The Forerunner database would advance galactic civilization by centuries. Medical technology, energy systems, faster-than-light improvements, all waiting to be understood and implemented. But more importantly, humanity had once again proven something that made other species both nervous and grateful. When the galaxy faced something impossible, something that made everyone else panic, you called the humans. Because humans looked at the impossible and asked, how do we kill it? And usually, they figured it out. The Dragon Slayers Guild received hundreds of new mission requests within days. Apparently, the galaxy had a lot of problems that needed the human touch. Jake approved 3 new guild chapters, started recruitment for 50 new hunters, and ordered another round of coffee. Somewhere in the depths of space, other void serpents swam through the dark. Other nightmares waited to be discovered. Other impossible missions waited to be completed. And somewhere, humanity smiled, checked their weapons, and prepared to face them all. Because that's what humans did.